Hello, Devon, and hello, Jonny. How you guys doing? So it seems like you've switched to Cove Data Protection. I don't know how long or when you've done that, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about why did you consider doing that? And maybe also where did you switch from, right? They kind of go hand in hand. So sort of when would you come from? What was your experience and what drove you to consider Cove Data Protection?
We'd been using Cove for a while for Microsoft 365 for our business partners. And then we decided to investigate the tool's capability for backup and recovery testing, because as insurance policies for cyber attack have been changing in New Zealand, we've been getting a lot of, it's well and good to have a backup, but how do you prove the backup is viable? Is it tested regularly? And Cove certainly made it very easy for us to have automated recovery testing done. And it, went from there.
So was a little bit of cost, sort of that you looked at that prompted you. And would you mind sharing who you came from or what were you using before? Or
Cove was the first backup that we used to do a cloud-to-cloud Office 365 backup. We did have other cloud backup solutions like Keep It Safe, Carbonite for sort of home users, and then on-premise mainly with Shadow Protect, SPX, backing up to a local hard drive.
We also had ArcSurf Solo with one of our larger clients.
Interesting. So, you heard the pitch, right? Or the way we position it, but, on the ground, really, I mean, is it delivering? I mean, does it resonate? And are you seeing that, like, for example, the tech efficiency thing? Or do you feel like you have a better shot at growing profitably because you're spending less time sort of managing the infrastructure? Is that kind of coming? Are you seeing those types of benefits actually panning out on the ground?
Yeah, so I can answer to that in terms of we've set it up for all exception reporting. What means it's only an issue do we actually get told that there's something that we need to do. So it's very much once you've set it up correctly, set and forget. Then we get an email with anything that we need to know on a daily basis, and we can then have a technician just personally review that and see if that anything needs to be done on it. I have found that some of its tools for reporting errors have been quite good, where other software hasn't reported an error with, say, a client's drive. We then had to try and clone that drive, and it would fail to clone because it had a controller error on an SSD. So we ended up pulling up the backup, doing a bare metal recovery, and off we went from there. Yeah, and in terms of does it take us much once it's set up? No, not at all.
Is it fair to say that you freed up some technician time? And I don't know if you could quantify it. And then, of course, the cool question is also, what are you doing with that time? Are you working on, other projects that are more profitable, getting into security or whatever?
Yeah. Being able to be dynamic for any incoming work rather than having to have administrative time where you're sitting down doing something else is always valuable. The less admin you can do and the more billable time, the more money you make. So, yeah, from that point of view, if we only have to react to any bad problems, then we free up time to bill out to other clients. Control the other benefits. What we managed before is we have a client that's particular. Not only do they want recovery testing, they then want to test the recovery themselves. So this is one of the product features is you can have a standby VM waiting for a client. So we have that sitting on a server here at iFix Computers. As they back up to Cove, Cove then downloads to our server, and we run a day behind the actual data on the system. And then once a month, we spool up the VM, give the client access. They come through, check everything because that's what they want, and they're paying us for it.
Interesting. So the standby image for reference is the sort of the continuous restore, right? So you basically get the benefit of, if you needed very short recovery time, you're hosting your instance on your server. You could do it in Azure, but that's the sort of the topology you chose, and then you're giving the end customer access so they can do proof of life and some additional testing, right?
Yeah.
That's your use case. That's cool.
And seeing it's a VM, we could quickly throw together one of our loan servers, throw it onto there, and they'd be running as if they didn't know what happened the same day, basically.
I would just say, from a trial point of view, I don't remember what the minimum seat number was to purchase, but when I started out with Enable, which Cove's part of that ecosystem, I think there was like a $50 minimum monthly spend. And even though I only had 2 or 3 clients on at the time, I wasn't hitting that $50. It didn't take long to get past the minimum monthly spend and actually start being profitable. So try it out for a couple of months and spend a couple $100 to do some tests on your own devices, and I'm pretty sure would be happy with the product.